This looks kind of cool. It's like the shadow. The light in here is weird. It's like, see how there's like shadow and then it's like, I think it looks kind of cool. I've been freaking out, not because of TikTok. I only use TikTok, honestly, as an editing tool. I wish that they would bring back like TikTok, the editing tool. Like, so you can keep your own videos on your phone. Like, you don't necessarily have to post videos. It was the, it's weird light in here. It was the best editing tool. But yes, I've been looking up Shiva and Parvati because I saw some pictures on my feed on YouTube and I was just assuming that that was the pictures or like the images because I listened to MC Yogi and on his album Elephant Power, which I actually heard on NPR. And that was one of the gifts that my mom and dad got me because like I was like, oh, this is so interesting. So look up MC Yogi. I think it was his first album. He has some great albums. Like he did an album with East Forest, and that's where that song called Unbroken Devotion. Listen to the song Unbroken Devotion. That's like my theme song. Anyway, on Elephant Power by MC Yogi, there's a song, and like he breaks down a lot of the Hindu like lore or I don't know if they call it lore, but like hi Peter lore. I have to say that to hi Peter lore. Hi Peter, if you're seeing me. I don't think he sees my YouTube. But and also Whitewater, right? Whitewater. UW Whitewater. Holla, 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 right? And of course, UW Platteville, but so proud to be a Warhawk right now. So proud. I cry. That's our thing, but so I assume that these images of Shiva and Parvati, like I guess like the divine masculine, divine feminine, and perfect union, and it's just like all these photos are like so cool because it's like he just can't stop like touching her in like the best way, like they're meditating and then like he'll have like his hand on her knee or like she needed water, so like they're at like a stream and like he's like pouring water from her hand from his his hand into her hands, and it's just like so helpful, putting his arm around her, and like I bawled about that because like there was never a time. Not like this is not the Laura cries every single time channel, but it's just like just a reminder in case like you're crying so hard that like you feel like you're gonna pass out or like whatever. Think of the pineapple, like it'll make you laugh. Like if you here's the specific pineapple that you have to think of. So if you ever cry, like my Whitewater people, like and it gets really bad, and you think you're not gonna be able to make it anymore, just think of this particular specific pineapple and you will laugh and not cry. Like that is what I do. Like that helps me out a lot. So um I really didn't know, except for the song on the MC Yogi album, like the story of Shiva and Parvati. I never saw those images before. Type in on Google. I can't find the exact same images though, where they're so like just like intimacy, but it's just like it's beautiful, and like that's the way that I always like am, but nobody's like that with me. So think of the pineapple. Also, there's a big shift in energy today, apparently. I am so thankful, and I had to be in prayer today because there is a ceasefire in Gaza, and I think that they are releasing prisoners today. That is something that I know I made several phone calls to the White House, to the Biden administration, to make that happen. I know that maybe about a year ago, approximately a year ago, they called a temporary ceasefire. I think this is a permanent ceasefire. So we'll have to keep looking at the news and see what prisoners are being released. Definitely had to say a prayer and say like, thank you, God. If that's something that you believe in. If not, like, thank you to people having common sense and knowing what is right and knowing what is wrong. And people are just like, they're outgrowing. I have friends like, and they're still like into drugs and stuff. And I'm like, will you ever grow up? The idea of not being peaceful, not having peace, holding grudges, I believe is people are just getting tired of it. Who like doesn't want peace? You know what I mean? I guess there have been people for a long time that haven't, but maybe they never thought of it that way though. They're like, I'm glad that they're starting to come around. But yes, I watched Sebastian Soto while he was on TikTok. That was a happening. I'm like, I was there, man, when Sebastian was on there. Look him up too, also on YouTube. I'm just saying, like, these are my friends that I haven't met yet. I have friends that I haven't met yet. And I feel like I'm all isolated, and it seems like the quote-unquote friends that I have are narcissistic, manipulative, victims of their own self-defeating beliefs. I'm sure that they have to think of the pineapple, but I'll show you the snack I'm having right now. I just had pumpernickel bagels delivered to me from New York. I've never had a New York bagel before. It was the best bagel, or they're the best bagels I've ever had. They say don't put the energy out there of things that you don't want. I would just like to say, like, it would never bother me if I never left Wisconsin and ever went any place, like, ever again. Like, I've been to other places, but it was never my dream to ever, like, I know it's like some people, it's like, it's their dream, and it's like what they really want to do. Like, I don't know what I ever really wanted to do. I just have had suggestions made to me, like the big one, like that my dad suggested, like to get into politics, which I don't know if anybody's watching me. I don't look for followers, honestly, and like, honestly, I don't have that many, but it's not like, oh, I need to get 100K, or I need to get a K, or like, I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even know, like, I guess one of my videos where I'm running, I got like 200K people that were like, you know, like, somebody says something about like, remind me when this reaches a mill. Like, I do not know what 200K people is. Like, how many people fit into a stadium? Like 1,000 people. So I don't know. Like, is that a big deal? So I tag people all the time. I'm not like attention. I'm not thirsty for attention. I have some things to say, like the Kill Tony podcast. I'm not like attacking Tony. Like, I want his podcast to be the very best podcast that it can be, because I believe that he's an educated intellectual fellow, like particular gentleman that is not like representing himself in the way that he truly is. Do you know what I mean? I just want, and they say like, you attract what you are. Well, he attracted me by having a horrible episode. It just happened to be, I'm glad that I saw it, because it's like, he could call me names and like make fun of me, but like, in all honesty, I'm like, I want your podcast, if you're number one, like you say, to be the very best podcast and represent who you are and what you believe in. And I really hope, like, my one particular, he's not, my one friend that was living here, right, for like a week. I would hate to think that you hate yourself, or that anybody hates themselves so much that the things that they fear the most are the things that they project out into the world. And there's people like me that, like, I don't like that hate speech, but I really like you. I think you're gifted. I think you're a good comedian. You don't have to go for the, I know, maybe he's watching me right now. You don't have to go for like the things that you think are edgy that aren't. Like, you could come up with some really edgy things. Oh, piece of flame, oh, piece of flame, oh, piece of flame, oh, piece of flame. That's kind of edgy, right? Like, it doesn't hurt people though. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, we've all had friends that are flamers, like, haven't we? Like, you're not living life unless you've had a friend that's a flamer. And like I said, you do not want to get in a fight with a flamer, because flamers, they do not fight fair. And they will, like, they'll destroy you, or like, I can tell you a story, but I'm not going to tell you a story. I'll tell you a story. I have a friend, and he is a flamer, okay? He is the biggest flamer I've ever seen in my life. He is really into like things like ancient aliens, and like he thinks that the earth is a prison and all this stuff like that. I don't mean to be a snot. I'm not a snot. He is a snot because I used to do crystal meth. He got mad at me because like my dad had this box, and it's like a stealing valor, okay? I just know that like this particular friend of mine that is a flamer, honey, like had complete like understanding of like some of these things that I don't just give like these. My dad had a box, like a tackle box, because like he earned all these wings in the Air Force, right? Like he had a tackle box. Why am I having like a snot nose? Think of the pineapple. Think of the pineapple. Why are you crying? Don't cry. Don't cry. I know some of you are crying. Think of the pineapple right now. This is what happened. My friend who's a flamer, I happened to find a tackle box full of Air Force wings. Because my dad had sewing kits like all over the house, and I still find sewing kits. I still find, oh, why do I have a snot nose? Okay, this is what happened with my friend that's a flamer. This is the true story of what happened to my friend that is a flamer, honey. I found a tackle box full of Air Force wings. Like, I don't know if they have them in chunks of like 6 or something. Like he had like a dozen of those like in this tackle box. Well, my friend that completely 100% deserved to have like one of these patches like sewn on something, even though it's stealing valor. I am very like cautious about who I give stuff like that to. Well, my friend 100% deserved these Air Force wings like sewn on. I sewed it on his jacket. It was kind of cool. I should show you like I wish I could show you the picture. He went in the mirror and he took selfies. And it was like the most beautiful pictures because he's like extremely like flamboyantly, like femininely, like flamboyant. You know what I mean? Like I say, he's a flamer, but like, you know the type, right? Like he's really out. You know what I mean? And like, just like my cat, like my rainbow cat thing that I do, like the cat and the like rainbow cat, mama cat, and the magic mat, MAJIC mat. Like, look up Operation Magic. I don't think it has anything to do with rainbow cats. It's like, I'm like, okay, people, you need to grow up. Anyway, he took pictures in the mirror, and he was like, here he was. He's like so happy. It's like the proudest thing that like ever happened to him in his life, because he wasn't in the actual Air Force. Okay, well, yeah, whatever, right? Well, he didn't like, and they were the most beautiful, candid pictures I've ever taken of anybody so, like, proud of themselves. And I took a couple pictures, candid pictures. He did not like the way he looked in the pictures. And he held, like, a really bad grudge against me, where I guess I did crystal meth sometimes. He eats his crystal meth, like, in pills. Like, well, I was with him, and he was, like, pretending to be my friend, kind of. He was really, really angry at me, but like I didn't know. He put probably like 10 days worth of crystal meth in this one pill, and I didn't know. And I had the most severe, terrifying psychosis that I've ever had in my life for probably like 5 days, where I thought my next door neighbor was murdering people, and like I saw like the grass in the backyard, like there was a patch of grass like that was like dry in my backyard. It looked like dead bodies were there. I thought he was a serial killer. I thought he was going to kill me. It was a regular occurrence that I thought people were living in my ceiling and they were going to come down and rape me and kill me. And I'd like get on my mat, and like everybody's seen my mat. Like, I'm not trying to showboat about my mat with like the holes in it, but there's a reason that there are holes in my mat. It was a regular occurrence. Like if I do meth with my friends, which I honestly didn't want to do meth as much as I just wanted to spend time with my friends, but that was what they were doing. So I thought my next door neighbor was killing people and putting them in coolers, and I thought I was on the mat, obviously, like that's something that I usually do. I was on the mat, and there are holes in my mat. So if you want to know if my mat is holy, it is truly a holy mat. I have worn holes through it. I'm not trying to showboat, but back to my friend, like, then he got like really angry with me, and like he knew, like, this is like getting in a fight with a flamer, okay? Like, all because I took these pictures that were like, squad, the most beautiful, candid pictures of somebody that was so proud because somehow, some way, even though we can't prove it, so, like, do not get in a fight with a flamer. They might hold a grudge against you because they just didn't like the way that they looked in these pictures. And, like, and then you know what else happened later? Like, after that happened, he's like, well, you know, those pictures are kind of cool. Like, I actually do look, like, kind of good in those pictures. I mean, I am happy. I'm very happy in those pictures. And I'm like, oh. I don't know. That's kind of a long story. It's supposed to be funny, but, like, honestly, if you can help it, do not get in a fight with a flamer because, like, they hold grudges and that's not really edgy, but I'm just, like, just watch yourself. Like, you know, they don't fight fair. Flamers don't. So on that note, I don't regret taking the pictures. And you think that would make me stop doing crystal meth after that. I never took it that way ever again. And of course, I'm clean. I've been clean for a while. And I don't drink alcohol, and like I don't eat meat, and like I haven't had sex in like a really long time. So, I'm gonna show you my snack that I have today. Oh, the New York bagel. It was an extraordinary bagel. I made like the sauerkraut cream cheese. I had like sauerkraut in it and Thousand Island dressing. And I put it like I spread that on my bagel, and then I put like a piece of Swiss cheese on it. So I'm like, why go to New York when I can just have the bagels delivered here to me? But I guess it's an experience that like maybe every American has to experience. There's just like a girl that I go to school with, and she is like the biggest snot. She's vegan, I'm a vegetarian, and she's like, well, I'm never coming back home ever again. I never want to see those people. Those people are so ignorant. I hate being at home. And it's just, I'm so glad that I'm a vegan chef in New York. And I'm like, okay, I go to the town hall meetings and stuff, and it's like, if I'm not here, and like, yes, like, I don't know if people think that I feel like the things that I do, like nobody sees me, nobody hears me. I'm not tagging people though to like get people's attention. Honestly, when I tag people, there's a particular individual that I know who he is. I know who he is. I don't want to put it out there. Just like I'm tagging him for him. Like I want him to see the tag every single day and be like, oh wow, she's thinking about me today. Like I tag him for him. Like I don't I don't want to look desperate. Like I don't need to tag people. Like, I just want to make sure, like, he feels good, like, every single day. And that's, like, the only reason that I tag, like, over and over and over again. It's not Bill Clinton. It's not Bill Clinton. But, yes, like, if I'm doing something interesting, like, talking about, like, the importance of cremation in America, I'm going to tag Bill Clinton. I know that that's something that's important to his heart. I just know that it is. Like, well, definitely Al Gore. But, like, these are, like, the people that came before us. These were, like, the real hippies. These are, like, the people that we have to look up to. These are our heroes, you know what I mean? I know he's vegan. I know I cried the other day in a video, and I don't think anybody's like making fun of me or being like, oh, boo-hoo, you know, like you can't have your eggs, but it's just like, I will not eat eggs for a month or 2 months if it means that like I have to get an egg from a chicken that's in a cage. I just won't do it. It's not that important to me. If it's an experiment to see like, will people go vegan if they just can't? It's more like, will people in general care at all about anything? Like, oh yeah, the vegans at Quick Trip or whatever, or like, it's just like, oh, well, let's just do an experiment to see how many people just like don't need the eggs. Well, okay, vegans, like, congratulations. I'm a vegetarian that can't eat protein. Yes, I have beans and rice in my fridge right now. I'll show you. So like, don't think that I'm not trying to make like a freaking like protein or like whatever. You know what I mean? So this video is almost at 20 minutes. So vegans, yeah, you know, here vegans, like I don't have eggs, right? I can't eat steak. I don't eat fish. I don't eat pork. Here, vegans, here's my rice and beans to make like a complex like carbohydrate and a protein. So don't think that I'm not trying. Yes, I had some cheese today, but it's like, no, I will not eat eggs that are in a cage. And I prefer not to have ones with antibiotics. So your experiment, like who are the real ones and who aren't, who cares? Well, I hope your experiment worked and you found more people that care than people that don't. Here, vegans, yes, I care, all right? I'll show you my bagel. I got like a dozen of them. It was only like it was $39 for a dozen. I broke that down. And it was really inexpensive for a bagel. Like if I went to Dubuque to like Big Apple Bagels or something, I think a bagel is more than that. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money for me. 40 bucks is like, it's a lot of money for me, okay? Like, but here's the bagel. These are pumpernickel bagels. Like, see how pretty and shiny it is? Yes, they're the best bagels I've ever had. Just that the girl that was a snot that like went to school with me, when she says like, I'm never going back there. And then I'm sitting in like city council being like, okay, there are so many things that like this city looks like so pretty on the outside. There are so many things that on the inside are like not going that great, that like will they listen to me though? I don't know. I don't know if they will or not. People are kind of like afraid of me, like because I'm weird. But I'm going to show you my snack, okay? I'm at 21 minutes. If you're still watching me, this is my snack. Let's listen to Shiva mantra here for a second. So I had my bagel. I'm having, my tea is probably just perfect now. Here's my tea in my hospital cup. This is like, I got this tea, I got it for me, but I've been drinking rose syrup in my tea. This is Tulsi with rose petals and chamomile. And then I mix, I don't know why, am I lonely? Oh, incredibly lonely. And the people that I have around me are like users. And the person that I want here, like, can't get here because he's too much of an asset to like the frickin' trap house that he's living in, because he's the only one that has a real job. So he wants to be like a daddy type person, like in the best way. Like he used to have like a 10-year-old child, like that got taken, like, he likes to take care of people because he's a loving person. He has a job, so he thinks that taking care of people is like supplying all their drugs for him. So he's like the cool guy, and he's like the hero, and he's like, you know, like they're keeping him away from coming here because like when he comes here, he's staying here, and then what's going to happen? Who's going to supply their drugs for him? Like, it's not because they like him. It's not because they love him. It's not like they love him like me. And like, I know like another particular friend, like friends of mine that I have not met yet, that are like in the winner's circle, that are going to be my new circle of friends. They know who he is from like songs that I've written and things that I've said. They're like, he is our brother. We need to get him back. Like, in all honesty. And he wants to get back. Anyway, here I also put this in my tea. It's so true. All right. I've got my sunflower seeds. It's just that time of the month for me, like the second half of my cycle. And I've got my dates. I make really good date candies. I've been off on a tangent. It's because I was on TikTok, so I've been trying to making videos like that were 10 minutes or less. So if anybody's still with me at 23 minutes, I appreciate you. I'm just so thankful for the ceasefire, and I would pray not right now. I pray, that's another thing, like I'm alone. What's going to happen when I'm around people? I'm so used to being alone that all I do is, every single time like anything comes up, like how many times a day do I pray? Like, I don't know, like the Secret Service, is there a Secret Service, like people that watch me, which I don't even care anymore. We're all being monitored, but I wonder, just as many times as I did Beatles Love Yoga all the way through, like who's counting? I'm sure that they have the count, right? There's your body count, right? There's your body count. All of us that cared enough to listen, like what a cool thing to do, to listen to Beatles Love Yoga to the point where I started drinking again for like a few weeks. I was like, I hate the Beatles. Like, and then there's people that really like went through horrible things, and they're kind of like, she'll get over the drinking. Just give her a minute. Like, she's having like a bad reaction to the Beatles, you know, like we're kind of, just let her get it out of her system. And look what happened. I don't drink at all anymore. I didn't want to be disrespectful. That was the last thing that I wanted to do. And also, alcoholism killed my mom and dad. It's been a curse in my family, a generational curse. for like a really long time. It killed my parents. Like alcoholism killed my parents. But the only way that I could deal with like all that stress and not necessarily just Beatles Love Yoga, like what's the most comforting thing that reminds you of your family if you drink every single night? Like you're going to go back to drinking. It didn't bring my family back though. They weren't here to drink and talk to me. So I was just like, and also like I had like a 3 like drink like White Claw or something stupid minimum. So it's not like I was here with a bottle of Jack Daniels, like drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels a night or drinking like a 30 pack. It's like every other night or something I drink like 3 fucking beers, not even pour half of it in the sink. And it's like I thought I was being bad. So, and then it made me not drink anymore. So, okay, we're at 25 minutes. So yeah, there's the body count. Like, thank God there's a ceasefire in Gaza. Hopefully it's a permanent ceasefire, but like, yes, body count of like all the particular men and ladies and everyone far out and in between that did Beatles Love Yoga and are so proud of who they are, like, right? Yes, most of us are cats, but you don't have to be a cat if you don't want to. It's just like, do you want to adult today or do you want to be a cat today? And I would always choose be a cat. So I'm going to have my snack, listen to my Shiva mantra. I was really stressing out about like what's going on with my body. I just don't feel comfortable in my body. I don't like that. I feel so heavy. And it's just like, well, instead of bitching about it, why don't you go and run and why don't you do yoga and stuff? And that is true. But then I thought of like the pictures of Shiva and Parvati. And then like it calmed me down. Like even looking at the pictures calmed me down. So on that note, I'm going to eat my snack, and I'm so thankful for Sebastian Soto. I just have to say that because he's the most, like, beautiful human being. Like, if there was a personification of God, honestly, I would hope that it was Sebastian Soto. He is the most grateful, loving, like, genuine and authentic person that cares. He gets out like messages about domestic violence, messages about friendship. Like, yeah, he spills tea or like whatever, and that's his thing. But there's never a day that he does not make sure that everyone knows how grateful he is. And that gets you everywhere in this world, along with respect. So I am so thankful that I came across his channel. So on that note, I love everyone. I would say a prayer right now. I don't know what to say. So to all my atheist friends, is it mean to be like, you're welcome? Like, that's not very nice. Because, like, what I would say, math, right? That's what I always have to go back to. I don't want to get any arguments with anybody. But yes, like, if you don't believe in God, then watch Sebastian Soto. I love you. Peace.